with that reminder, with that voice. So, wherever we are right now, we'll just first settle in, ground ourselves with 3 deep breaths. So, we'll take this moment to settle in. We'll begin with our body posture. It's okay to be on the chair. Those of us who are sitting on the chair, it's absolutely fine. But those of us who are on the cushion, we will begin the instructions with a body posture, and people who have been taking the session regularly or those who are new. So we'll have a mix of instructions so that people who are joining new should also learn about the body posture, which is the 7 feature Virochana posture, where we'll begin with our legs. So either we can sit in a cross leg, full cross leg, which is full lotus or half lotus position, or even the Burmese style, where one leg is in front of the other. So whatever is comfortable to us, we'll follow that. Then we'll, with respect to our hands, so we'll place our right hand over our left hand, thumbs joining, making a triangle. And hands very relaxed, comfortably placed on our lap. Then comes our back, very important part, which has to be comfortably straight. We don't have to force ourselves. What teachers say, it has to be relaxed but upright. Imagining as if there is a thread pulling us up at a point where we are fully straight but not putting any pressure. Then comes the position of our tongue, and we place our tongue touching our upper palate. And the rationale given is very simple, because while we are meditating, of course, there is production of saliva in our mouth. This position of tongue touching the upper palate reduces so that we don't get distracted with these body processes. Then comes a very important feature or instruction in this 7 feature Virochana posture, which is about eyes. And those of us who have been regular with the session know that we are following this practice of training our mind, that ultimately it's the mind consciousness which meditates, not the eye. So this habit of closing the eyes fully is not very productive in the long run for the practice. The reason being very simple, because we tend to fall sleepy. So we have this practice where the eyes are not fully closed, but half open with our gaze slightly lower, as if, it's at an angle of 45-degree. Then the final instructions in the body posture is with respect to our shoulders. And we again keep our shoulders straight. I like to see this as an inverted alphabet T, so that with respect to our head and neck, our shoulders should be straight, as if there is an inverted alphabet T. So these are the basic 7-feature Virochana posture, the traditional posture that we follow. But as I have been saying, and as we have been looking, that there is um, uh, no scope, no place for any coercion. So we are free to follow and make some changes as long as it is comfortable to our bodies. After that, we start the session with the rest instructions. So after the body posture, we look into our focal point. So in the breath awareness that we are doing, our focal point is our breath, is our breathing cycle, that is inhalation and exhalation. And we are focusing on space between our nose and upper lips. So if I can demonstrate, so this is the area. So a point between our nose and upper lips where we feel the sensation while we inhale and exhale. So we can have, it can be in any shape, right? So it can be a circle, or it can be a point, or simply a space between the nostrils and upper lips. So that's our object of focus. And coming to the errors that we might experience during our session, during our practice, there are two common errors. One is mental excitement, and the other is mental lethargy. So to look at it in a very simple way, that whenever we are practicing, there is a possibility that we get too excited, too much of commotion. One way to visualize is as if our mind is like a ball, like those crazy balls, which we used to have in earlier days while we were children playing with those crazy balls. You hit it on the floor and it's everywhere. Or the other possibility, or the other error that we may face, is that we are too tired paradoxically tired, because we are starting a day, but as they say, our bodies may be relaxed after sleeping, but mind is still tired or already tired, because last night we did not take care of that. So yeah, so it could be that lethargy, that lack of energy. So these are the two errors that we may face during our practice. But the good news is that we have antidotes for them, for these errors. If we have a problem, we have a solution. And the solution for these two errors is to train our mind in two faculties, in two powers of our mind itself, in these two modes of operation where we can tackle these two errors. And these antidotes are introspection and mindfulness. To simply look at these two antidotes, so introspection is that awareness, that knowing that, okay, that our mind has moved away from the object of meditation, from the focal point. So that awareness is called introspection. That it's okay, we know that our mind has gone away, it has wavered. That ability to see is the introspection. And mindfulness is simply is that mind which brings back itself to the object of focus. And a very sweet analogy given by our teachers, by our text, is imagining as if we have a very beloved child or very beloved pet. We know that, it has gone away somewhere. Like a mother knowing that the child is not there while the mother is doing some other chore. And that is introspection, that knowing the child is not there. And introspection and mindfulness is simply with love, with attention, bringing the mind back, bringing the child or our beloved pet back to the safe place, to the object of meditation, to the focal point. So with these instructions, we will begin our session. But before that, we'll also have a very small motivation of the day, of the practice, that by looking at this practice, by meditating for the next 20 minutes, we'll also understand that this is the nature of the mind. Will generate a very high motivation, which is the Mahayana motivation, that by this practice, by this habituation of the mind, because meditation is habituation, I will look deeper and deeper into the nature of the mind and understand that the problems that we face is common, that we all face the same problem, and that we all need happiness in life, and that the afflictions haunt every one of us. and that yearning for peace is same. So this is the motivation. And with that, we'll begin our two cycles of the practice. And we'll begin with the first round. So as soon as you hear the voice of the gong, which we tried to adjust last time, thanks to the feedback. So if you are still not able to hear the gong, maybe I'll visually show that, so that with that, we will begin the first cycle for 5 minutes and then take a break and then the other cycle. We'll slowly come out of our practice. We'll utilize these 30 seconds to stretch our bodies and also to look back that in the last 5 minutes, as small as it may look, but very profound. Did we do Did we face any of the errors? And if yes, how did we approach them? And it's okay that if we were not able to apply the antidotes, it's absolutely fine. That's where the habituation is. It takes time. And that's why this daily practice of repeating the cycles and further habituating our mind. So, with that thought, with that 30 seconds of relaxation, we'll go back for the second cycle. Again, readjusting our posture. And as soon as you hear the sound of the gong, if not, visually, if you see, then we'll begin the second round. We'll come out of our practice. So before we finish, just one observation from my end. I thought to share, since it's raining, and I was just while doing the practice, I realized that when we shift our focus, I mean, right now our focal point was our breath. So the very same raindrops, which otherwise are so soothing, are so beautiful, could be a source of distraction. And that's where, I'm just thinking right now, that's where the idea to understand impermanence, comes in. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to share. Before we finish, we'll just dedicate in 1 minute, we'll dedicate the practice, the merits that we have generated by doing this practice, by habituating our minds. And as I said, as small as it may look like, it's very profound. The 10 minutes of practice is wonderful. And also listening the instructions, understanding the errors and the antidotes, it's phenomenal. So whatever the merits that we have generated, merits in the sense that whatever uh, good training that we have undergone, may that help us to understand the nature of our minds better and in deeper way, and also to understand that this is same for everyone. And this is the most important thing, that we all need happiness, we all look for happiness, and we all shun away from miseries. And that's the beginning, that's the doorway to understand compassion, to understand, to go deeper into bodhicitta. So we dedicate to our teachers, to our friends, our family members, our beautiful planet Earth. We can also personally pray for the well-being of our personal teachers or gurus, for the long life of His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, and also the teacher, our founder of FPMT, Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. And I'll see you next time on Monday. Thank you.